Hello and welcome everyone. This is the weekly reading with Tarot with Titania for the coming week of October 30th to November 6th. This includes Halloween. Just going to invite you to take a few deep breaths, put your feet flat on the floor. Just imagine a tree root coming out of the base of your spine deep into the earth, becoming a conduit through which you can release anything that no longer serves you, and this will then become compost for new growth. Thank you, Mother Earth, for holding us. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I'm about to do a reading for the highest and greatest benefit of all those listening and for the collective good. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information that we most need to receive right now, and to provide that in a manner that we will easily and effortlessly hear, understand, and integrate for our highest and greatest benefit and the benefit of anyone whose life we touch. I call upon my higher self and the higher selves of all those listening now and in the future, as well as an overlighting angel of communication, to facilitate this exchange and ensure that it happens in the highest and best way possible for the greatest good of all concerned. I'd also like to invite the four archangels to come and hold the four directions around us across time and space, creating a sacred container of light, of love, of wisdom, of clarity, of empowerment, of healing, of enlightenment, of transformation, of indeed anything that is in our heart and mind collectively at this time. I invite Raphael to hold the east, Michael to hold the south, Gabriel to hold the west, and Uriel to hold the north. Thank you for being here now. Anything that doesn't match the energies and the frequencies that we have set of love, of light, of healing, of balance, of transformation, of upliftment, of ease and flow, fun, healing, whatever is in our collective heart and mind at this time is welcome to go now. Let us get started. These beautiful blue barrage flowers are from my garden. They're some of my last flowers for the season. Alrighty, the energies for the coming week, November 30th to October 30th to November 6th. Okay. Recent past, the influence is waning, but continues into our present and into our future. The Princess of Pentacles. So this is new starts on the level of material, of material well-being, of financial affairs, of things having to do with more three-dimensional experience. So this is the suit of Pentacles. It has to do, as I said, with those three-dimensional things. And this is this fresh beginning, a new start. It could be new perspectives also about what is important. What is it that we value? What is it that we want to give our energy to? Where are we focusing our life force and our resources to creating the future that we want? So new beginnings on this level. It can mean that we're making thoughts. We have new thoughts and new choices, new directions that we're taking our physical lives in. Just considering things, looking at things, allowing for this to become this information to feed our direction. We have the Nine of Pentacles in the present card, and the name is Abundance. So again, this is a materiality card of three dimensions of usually money, stuff. It's an earth element. And so here we have the card of abundance, this sort of pause. The sense that I'm getting with this is it's a very helpful pause in the midst of the astrological stuff that we've got going on collectively. There's just this little bit of a break that's happening before the next wave. And it's a good feeling card. It's this refocusing our energy on what is truly abundant for us. What does abundance mean to us? Sometimes we can get collectively caught up in this idea of what success is or what abundance is, and we measure ourselves by the standards of society that are unrealistically doled out to us in the media and movies and other standards, celebrity life, etc. I don't know if you follow any of that stuff. I know I don't, but some of us do. And it's just good to remember that what we see out in the world is just a story that's being spun for us, about what is success and what is material well-being. And it's so helpful when we could take a step back and just recognize that what we have is enough. I mean, there's always room for improvement, of course, but just recognizing how privileged we are, how blessed we are, all the good that's in our experience. This card is reminding us to turn and look into our lives, look into the many blessings of our lives, and just be appreciative of it. This card of abundance. The universe likes to bring us more of what we give our attention to. So it's really important to give our attention to what we want to create more of in our experience and field. So that feeling, if you enjoy feeling appreciative and grateful, then by all means, give your attention to appreciating and being grateful for what's in your experience, because life will seek to give you more. So this card is reminding us to just be in our moment, in our nowness, enjoying all the blessings of our nowness, even if there are pieces missing. Not to worry about that, not to give our attention to that, but instead to give our attention to all the many things that are right, the good people in our lives, the good relationships that we have. Give our attention to all that goodness. Near future, the star. It's a major arcana. Has to do with sharing our gifts beautifully on the planet and abundantly. Pouring out the sacred waters into the blooming flower down here. So sharing ourselves, sharing our gifts. This is the energy in the near future. What we're moving towards is it's each of us is here with our own skill set, our own gift set, and we're here to shine brightly. We had this card last week, so it's kind of intriguing to have it here again. But this idea of it's time for us. So many, I think, have been feeling thwarted in their lives, that they have this skill set, this way of looking at life, and it's not recognized or appreciated by the world at large or collective culture. But now is the time for all of us to shine. Now is the time for all of us to bring forth our gifts and to be part of this new world that we're building together. We're all needed. And this is the card that celebrates that and recognizes that. And our best way of sharing that in the world, well, that starts by us tuning in and meditating, grounding ourselves, having a practice where we are grounding into the higher, broader, wiser parts of ourselves that will guide us to the right use of our gifts in the world. It's so helpful when we enlist that broader, wiser part of us. It makes life so much simpler, so much richer, so much easier. Life just flows. And ideally, that's, I think, what so many of us want to have is a life, a flowing life where we're seen and recognized and acknowledged, and it's easy for us to show up and share our gifts with the right people because it's all lined up. The foundation card for the week. We have the Six of Pentacles, card of generosity. So this is another lovely card. We have abundance, new beginnings, and the material level. We have our gifts and this card of generosity, this just trusting. We are exactly where we need to be right now. And if the universe wants us someplace else, that'll change. We will move towards that new opportunity. But in the moment, finding ways to express our gifts, finding ways to express our generosity from our gifts in the now is what we need to be doing, where we need to be giving our energies. How can we be generous with our uniqueness, our unique expression in the world? Not everyone can do or be who we are. And so we're called upon to be ourselves and to shine that into the world. More stars. Shiny stars. I love it. The theme of stars and how it's playing out again in this reading. How we need to conduct ourselves. Oh, there's that discipline card. Oh, it can feel like a blessing or a curse, but truly it is a blessing, because when we create the container for our lives, then our lives can show up. We can show up. When we know what our boundaries are, our parameters are, we're then able to fully engage with life and give what we have to give and show up. And in this case, how we need to conduct ourselves, it's reminding us of the importance of a discipline. And as I said, that a higher level of interpretation of the star is meditation. It's this idea of learning to connect to that broader, wiser part of us. And a discipline is the same thing. It's a container that we create, a structure that we create for us to operate within. In the past, I've mentioned being an artist, and when you have an art show coming up, you know what medium you're going to work on, you have your topic, you have the date by which you have to have it done by, you know how many pieces you've got to do so that you can fill that space adequately, you know what format you're going to use, what surfaces, etc. That kind of an idea. How we need to conduct ourselves is this creating of a discipline, a structure, a container, so that we can show up more freely, more openly, more generously, because we have this structure in place that takes care of us. So a discipline could be a yoga practice. A discipline could be Tai Chi or Qigong. A discipline could be a daily meditation practice or a walking meditation practice. But meditation keeps coming back. It keeps coming back in all of these readings. It's very much a theme for the time that we're in. This idea of accessing the wisdom that is within us, that we have access to an amazing, grounding, centering, empowering energy if we just give ourselves the opportunity to go there. And this is what this card is telling us again. You know, we have the star here and discipline. So that's how we need to conduct ourselves. If you haven't got a discipline, maybe it's time to get one. I'm hoping to have a recording soon with a good friend of mine who's all about meditation. We're going to talk about it and give you guys some ideas and inspiration if you don't have a practice, to maybe just get you started in a good way. I'll let you know more about that as I move towards it. How others are going to be. Competition. Interesting. So what is that all about? The competition card. It's about people facing off. So okay, let's just take a step back. Wands. Wands is about creativity, inspiration, and passion. And this card is about two adversaries or two people facing off. And it looks kind of intense. But this is what life is about. We have different perspectives on things. Other people have different perspectives. And the challenge is how do we come together and share our different perspectives without necessarily having to come to blows about it? Because we need all of the perspectives that are on the planet at this time, because they will help us to come up with the right solutions moving forward. So as individuals and in our communities, how do we come together and hear each other and be generous, create space to hear each other and listen and understand what's behind the words and what's important, so that we can collectively craft a beautiful vision going forward where we can all share our gifts. And part of sharing our gifts is speaking our truth, is speaking our perspective, is sharing what we see. Because each of us has a unique perspective on life. And it's not wrong or right, bad or good. It's just different. And that's important. That diversity of perspectives is what's going to provide the solutions that we need to the challenges that we face. So in terms of others, is recognizing when others don't speak the same language as we do or have different perspectives, it's okay. It's okay. Take a deep breath, find a way to center yourself, and hear others out. Hear others out so that we can find solutions together and move our lives forward together. So from others, this idea of maybe not so much conflict, but just difference in perspective, and having the courage to stand your ground and stand in your perspective, but be open to hear others. Yeah. These are skills that are so important at this time. And it's inspiring too, you know, this idea of these both are one. So it has to do with inspiration. It has to do with creativity and passion. It has to do with the fire element, what lights us up and what brings us to life. And this container helps us to create life, to create our own life. And when we have this energy of communication with others, or what seems to be conflict, recognizing that it's an opportunity for us to open and unfold and become more than we were. Okay, and the outcome for the week, we have another one, signals. Oh, it's going to be a lot about communication this coming week, which is kind of, appropriate because Halloween, which is on Saturday, is the time of the year traditionally when the veil is thinnest between us and the other side, and information coming through. For those of you who are more sensitive, there may be messages coming through of love and support and encouragement. Signals. We're communicating with each other. We're receiving information from the outside world. There's just a lot going on, let's face it. A lot of astrologers, I mentioned this, I think, last week and the week before, just this is a very intense time, astrologically speaking. And so staying grounded is going to be really important. And as the information comes in, it's okay to just take a deep breath and maybe don't take it all as being absolute truth. It's really challenging. There's a lot of talk about fake news, etc. But ultimately, we don't know. We don't know what's being given to us on the media. There's so many agendas. There's so many perspectives and narratives being thrown our way. And what do we truly know? Well, we truly know what's in our own world. We truly know what's in our own experience right here in the now. We truly know, hopefully, who we are. And if we don't, well, maybe it's your opportunity to get to know that. Certainly at this time, it's okay to just stand in your life and be curious about what's out there, but maybe also hold out for verification of it. Hold out for greater understanding and wisdom to come to you, and ask for it in your meditations and in that discipline that we talked about, so that as life comes towards you and these situations and narratives and stories come at you, you have the discernment and the wisdom to know what to give your attention and energy to and what to hold back from. Because again, there's so much out there. It's really difficult to know what's true, what's not, what's being given to us to push us in a particular direction. But when we have a grounding practice, when we have a discipline, when we have a meditation, that becomes easier. It becomes simpler. That's why I keep harping on it. Life is a lot better when one has a meditation practice, a discipline of some kind to keep one centered and present and in your life, in your now, as much as possible. So what we're seeing here is a lot of incoming messages. A lot of it is bearing, is blooming information. And I think we're going to see incoming information coming in the next little while. And it might be surprising and it might be kind of exciting. But it certainly will be fiery and lively, shall we say. That's the sense I'm getting. We've got a lot of this fire energy over here. We've got earth energy and fire energy. It's all about earth energy and fire energy this week, it looks like. Plus the star. Staying grounded, staying simple, being appreciative, loving your life, being in your now. This is really important. This is the idea of discipline, creating the container for your life, creating the container for your connection to source, your connection to the wiser, greater part of you that can guide you through the difficult and challenging times, through challenging times with others, through navigating conflict so that we come out of it stronger and closer together and supportive of each other. And then this incoming, these messages, these signals, this stuff coming into our field, and it could light us up and knock us off our center if we're not grounded and present. Hence, stay grounded. Hence the meditation discipline. Coming back to that, it really is so important on this planet at this time. My personal belief is that we are evolving, and that will happen more smoothly and more effectively and efficiently if we have a discipline that helps to keep us grounded, keep us breathing, keep us present. So, as life stirs up the pot, remember to breathe. Remember to take a few minutes out to ground, ask for help, meditate, and know that we're being taken care of, that we chose to come in at this time to be part of this transformative energy, and it's okay. We can be human and get upset about it, and that's okay too. Love that part of yourself. But know that you're more than that. Okay, so this is the energy of the week. That feels pretty complete to me. And I'm going to pull our card to grow on here. I hope everybody has a fun Halloween. And that you maybe take a bit of time on the day to remember people you love. You may have lost those you've loved and lost in the past year. Because if the veil is thinnest, then it's a wonderful time to acknowledge them. I love the tradition in Mexico of the Day of the Dead, where you go and celebrate your loved ones with food. You have a meal together in the cemeteries. I just think that's such a lovely tradition to have a time in our lives when we take time to remember the ones that we've loved and who've moved on and are not with us in this form anymore. Yeah. Okay. What's our card for the coming week? Our card to grow on. What do we need to know? So we have this energy coming at us. The name of the card is Defeat. It's the 5 of Swords. It's incoming energy. The person is standing there. They're not defeated entirely, because otherwise I think they'd be crumpled up in a ball on the ground. But it's just standing your ground in the face of adversity. Standing in love. This is a rose that the person is standing on. So this idea of, in the coming week, with the energies that we'll be seeing, stand your ground, stand anchored in love. Breathe deeply when things come towards you, and realize that there's a gift in all of that adversity, that it's helping us to determine what we prefer. It's helping us to determine what we want. So don't get stuck in the adversity. Don't get stuck and fall in the hole. Or if you do, just give yourself a hug and let yourself know it's okay. It's a human thing to do, to get stuck in the contrast that situations in life evoke, but that it's okay too to use the opportunity, the contrast that you're living, to realize what it is that you would prefer, and then move your attention and your energy towards it, because that will help you to get out of any pits that you fall into more quickly, and it will help you to move life in a direction that is more satisfying and affirming for you. So important. So for the coming week, if things just don't seem to be going your way, take a deep breath and look for what information the situation is providing you with. What is it telling you? What would you prefer? Where would you rather be? And then see how you can steer your life in that direction. Trusting you're being taken care of, that you're being loved, that you're being held in a good way. That's the card for us to grow on this week. Stay strong, my loves. And I wish you a very, very happy week, happy Halloween, or happy All Souls Day. And I will look forward to reading for you again soon. Much love. I'll see you next week.